When someone who skipped college picks up the bill. You're sitting across from your friend at a restaurant. He picks up the bill without looking at the total. You notice. Everyone at the table notices. You graduated 4 years ago. The loan payments started before your first paycheck did. He never finished his second year of college. Right now, his income is higher than yours, and both of you know it. Nobody says that out loud. Nobody has to. The table already knows who paid, who couldn't, and what that means about where each of you ended up. The degree was supposed to prevent this exact moment. It didn't. The degree was not just an education. It was a signal. It told employers, family, and friends exactly where you were supposed to land. It told the room who had done the work and who had not. That signal had a price attached to it. You paid that price. You paid it in years, in debt, in delayed income. In every semester you chose studying over earning. The signal was supposed to pay you back with interest. It was supposed to convert into salary, into authority, into a position in the room that matched the sacrifice. But the signal is losing its frequency. Employers still ask for the degree, they still list it as required, but they also ask for 3 to 5 years of experience for entry-level positions. They ask for certifications that did not exist when you enrolled. They ask for skills the degree never taught and never promised. The diploma no longer opens the door. It only allows you to stand in line outside it, and the line is long. Everyone in it has the same piece of paper. Your friend is not in the line. He skipped the credential and went directly to the work. While you were accumulating the signal, he was accumulating the thing the signal was supposed to represent. Now the market is paying him for what he built and paying you for what you owe. The pressure you feel is not confusion. It is the first sign that the hierarchy you were promised does not match the hierarchy that actually exists. You were told about the degree before you were old enough to question it. It was not presented as one option among many. It was presented as the path, the one that serious people took, the one that separated those who would be fine from those who would struggle. Your parents believed it. Your teachers reinforced it. Every adult in your early life pointed in the same direction. Go to school, get the degree, the rest follows. That instruction was not malicious, it was inherited. The adults who gave it to you had received the same instruction from the adults who raised them. And for a generation, it was accurate. The degree did convert into salary. It did produce the hierarchy it promised. So the conditioning was passed down with full confidence because the people delivering it had seen it work. What they could not see was that the system they were describing had already begun to change by the time they were describing it to you. You absorbed the belief before you had any evidence to test it against. The degree became part of your identity before you ever enrolled. Skipping it felt like choosing failure. Choosing a trade, a skill, a self-built path felt like giving up before you started. The friend who skipped college was not making a strategic decision in your mind at the time. He was making a mistake. That judgment was not yours alone. It came from every voice that had shaped what success was supposed to look like. Now his income sits above yours, and the discomfort you feel is not just financial. It is the feeling of a belief system being quietly disproven by someone you once pitied. Your nervous system does not process this as an economic observation. It processes it as a threat. When your friend picks up the bill, something registers before your thoughts do. The body reads the financial gap as a rank signal. It reads rank signals as survival information. This is not metaphor. This is the same circuitry that tracked who had resources and who did not, long before money existed in its current form. The person with access to resources was safer. The person without was exposed. Your nervous system has not updated that calculus. It still treats financial position as a direct measure of safety in the group. So when the hierarchy inverts, when the person who took the shortcut lands above the person who followed the rules, the body registers it as disorder, not disappointment, disorder. The rules were supposed to produce a predictable outcome. You followed them precisely. The outcome did not arrive as promised. That gap between expected and actual does not sit quietly in your mind. It sits in your chest. It sits in the silence at the restaurant table. It sits in the pause before you answer when someone asks how your career is going. Your nervous system is not overreacting. It is doing exactly what it was built to do.
It is telling you that your position in the group is less secure than you calculated, and it is telling you that the path you used to get here may not lead where you were told it would. The degree is not just a credential you earned, it is a decision you defended. You defended it when people questioned the cost. You defended it when the debt felt too heavy in your second year. You defended it when your friend dropped out and you told yourself he would regret it. That defense became part of who you are. Admitting the degree did not deliver what it promised is not a financial concession, it is an identity concession. It means the version of yourself that made that choice, paid that price, and believed that system was operating on incomplete information. The mind resists that conclusion with surprising force. It is easier to believe the market is temporarily broken. It is easier to believe you have not found the right position yet. It is easier to believe your friend got lucky, found a niche, is an exception. Any explanation that preserves the original belief is more comfortable than the one that dismantles it. So you hold the belief longer than the evidence supports. You apply for one more position that requires the degree. You list the credential first on every document. You introduce your education before your experience in rooms where experience is what actually matters. The loyalty is not to the paper. The loyalty is to the self that sacrificed to get it. Letting go of the belief means letting go of the justification for everything the belief cost you. And that is a loss the nervous system treats as seriously as any financial one. The inversion did not happen randomly. There are specific mechanisms that produced it. The first is credential inflation. When a small percentage of the population held degrees, the degree itself communicated scarcity. Scarcity produced value. Employers paid for it because it was rare. Decades of expansion changed that equation. The degree became common. Common things do not command premiums. The signal that once separated you from the room now only confirmed you met the minimum requirement to enter it. The second mechanism is skill compression. The distance between what a degree teaches and what a market rewards has widened steadily. Your friend did not learn his income in a classroom. He learned it by doing the work earlier, failing at a lower cost, and accumulating real feedback from real consequences. The market does not pay for knowledge stored, it pays for judgment applied. He has been applying judgment since the year you were still in lectures. The third mechanism is debt asymmetry. You entered the workforce already carrying a liability. He entered it without one. Equal salaries at the starting line produce unequal financial positions when one person is paying back a system that was supposed to launch them and the other is not. The fourth mechanism is the expectation gap. You were promised a hierarchy. You organized your early adult years around reaching it. He organized it around building something the hierarchy would eventually have to acknowledge. The market acknowledged it first. The room acknowledged it second. You are still waiting for the acknowledgement that was supposed to come automatically. The inversion does not stay contained to income. It spreads. It spreads into the way opinions land in the room. When your friend speaks about money, people lean in, not because he studied it, because he has it. Financial authority does not come from credentials in social settings. It comes from visible results. The room recalibrates towards whoever the numbers have validated. You feel this without being able to name it. You start editing yourself before you speak. You qualify your opinions. You frame your experience carefully. You become aware of the gap before anyone else mentions it. That awareness narrows your behavior. You decline conversations where the comparison might surface. You avoid situations where the bill will make the hierarchy visible again. You start measuring your words around the people who knew you before the inversion happened. The group you belong to is the same group, but your position inside it has shifted quietly. Nobody voted on it. Nobody announced it. The shift happened the way all hierarchy shifts happen, through accumulation of small signals that the room processes faster than anyone admits. Your degree is still on your wall. Your loan is still in your account. Your friend is still at the same table, but the table is no longer level. And the part that narrows everything further is this. The path you were given to climb back is the same path that produced the gap. More credentials, more qualifications, more signals layered on top of the original one that already failed to deliver. The system is asking you to trust it again with the same currency it already devalued. The ceremony was not the beginning. It was the end of the only system that was ever going to rank you automatically. Outside that system, position is not assigned, it is recognized. And recognition does not come from credentials. It comes from what the room decides your presence is worth. Your friend never waited for a system to tell him where he stood. You are still waiting for the title to produce the recognition. It is not coming in the order you were told it would. You followed the map exactly. The map was real. The cost was real. The destination was not. And the worst part is that no one who handed you that map has ever admitted it.